My parents passed away and left me a crumbling motel. Those were the exact words the lawyer used, like he was handing me a burden instead of an inheritance. I remember sitting there, staring at the paperwork, my fingers trembling as if the weight of that sentence alone could crush me. The motel was called Millbrook Haven, but there was nothing heavenly about it anymore. It sat on the edge of a forgotten highway, paint peeling, neon sign flickering like it was gasping for its last breath. Meanwhile, my sister got the luxury apartments in the city, fully renovated, fully rented, fully alive. She didn't even try to hide her relief when the will was read. I got the ruins. She got the future. I told myself it didn't matter. I told myself I could fix it. But deep down, I knew this wasn't just about property. It felt like a final message from my parents, one I couldn't quite understand yet. When I told my husband, Derek, he didn't even try to hide his disappointment. He laughed at first, actually laughed, like it was some kind of cruel joke. Then his face hardened, his voice turning sharp and cold. Useless, he muttered, pacing the kitchen. You got nothing but a dying motel while your sister walks away rich. Typical. I tried to explain that maybe it had potential, that maybe there was something we were missing. But he cut me off, his patience already gone. Don't come back until you've taken the apartments back, he said, his words hitting harder than any slap ever could. If you can't even fight for what's yours, then what good are you? That night, I packed a single bag. Not because I believed him, but because staying felt worse. I drove for hours until the city lights faded behind me, replaced by empty roads and silence. The motel appeared out of the darkness like a ghost, its broken sign buzzing weakly. Millbrook Haven. My inheritance. That night, I slept in the motel. The room smelled like dust and old wood, like something abandoned long ago. The mattress creaked beneath me, every sound amplified in the quiet. I wrapped myself in a thin blanket, staring at the cracked ceiling, wondering how my life had unraveled so quickly. My parents were gone. My husband had thrown me out. And all I had left was this place, a forgotten shell of something that once mattered. But there was something strange about the motel. I couldn't explain it at first. It wasn't just the silence. It was the feeling, like the building itself was watching me, waiting for something. Around midnight, I heard a noise. A low, dull thud. Then another. I sat up instantly, my heart pounding. The sound wasn't coming from outside, it was coming from beneath the floor. I held my breath, listening carefully. There it was again. A faint echo, like something shifting underground. For a moment, I told myself it was nothing. Old buildings make noise. Pipes, wood, settling foundations. But this felt different. Too deliberate. Too rhythmic. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight, slowly stepping out of the room. The hallway stretched endlessly, shadows clinging to every corner. Each step I took felt heavier than the last, like I was walking toward something I wasn't supposed to find. The sound grew louder as I moved toward the back of the motel. There was an old storage room there, the door slightly ajar. I hesitated for a second, my hand hovering over the handle. Something deep inside me whispered to turn back, to leave, to pretend I never heard anything. But I didn't. I pushed the door open. Inside, the air was colder, thicker. The floor was uneven, parts of it covered with old rugs and broken furniture. And that's when I noticed it, a section of the floor that looked wrong, newer than the rest, like it had been replaced. My pulse quickened as I stepped closer. The sound was coming from directly beneath it. I crouched down, brushing my fingers across the surface. The wood was slightly raised, like it had been lifted before. My heart raced as a single thought formed in my mind, loud and undeniable. There was something buried beneath this motel. And, whatever it wasn't meant to be found. I didn't sleep after that. I sat on the edge of that broken floor for what felt like hours, staring at it, listening, waiting. The sound came again, faint, hollow, like something shifting beneath layers of wood and dirt. My mind raced with every possibility, none of them comforting. By morning, the fear hadn't left, but something else had taken its place. Determination. If my parents left me this place, then they left me this too. I went outside, found an old rusted toolbox behind the motel office, and dragged it back into the storage room. My hands shook as I pried at the loose boards. Each creak of wood echoed through the empty building, like the motel itself was resisting me. Then finally crack. The first plank lifted. A cold gust of air rushed up from below, carrying a smell so strange I couldn't place it. Not rot, not mold, something older. My heart pounded as I pulled up another board, then another, until there was a dark opening beneath my feet. A hidden crawl space. No, deeper than that. I pointed my flashlight inside. Wooden steps, barely visible, led down into darkness. My breath caught. This wasn't some accident. This was built. Deliberately. My parents passed away and left me an old, dying motel, but they never said anything about what was beneath it. I swallowed hard and started down. Each step groaned under my weight as I descended, the air growing colder with every inch. The beam of my light cut through the darkness, revealing walls reinforced with old concrete and metal supports. This wasn't just a basement. It was a hidden chamber. At the bottom, the space opened into a long corridor. My footsteps echoed softly as I moved forward. Every nerve in my body screaming to turn back, but I couldn't. Not anymore. At the end of the corridor, I found a door. Heavy. Steel. Locked. My chest tightened as I ran my fingers along its surface. There were scratches near the handle, like someone had tried to open it before. Or get out. I hesitated only for a second before trying the handle. It didn't budge. Frustration surged through me. I searched the area, my light darting across the walls until it landed on something unexpected, a small metal box mounted beside the door. Inside it, a key. My hands trembled as I picked it up. This was it. Whatever my parents never told me, whatever they hid, it was behind this door. I slid the key into the lock. Click. The sound echoed louder than it should have. Slowly, I pushed the door open. And froze. Inside wasn't what I expected. No darkness. No emptiness. Light reflected back at me rows of metal shelves, stacked with sealed containers, documents, and locked cases. My breath hitched as I stepped inside, my mind struggling to catch up with what I was seeing. This wasn't something abandoned. This was something protected. I opened one of the containers, my hands still shaking. Inside, bundles of cash. Perfectly preserved. More than I had ever seen in my life. My pulse roared in my ears. Another case, documents. Deeds. Contracts. Ownership papers tied to properties across multiple states. Hotels. Buildings. Land. Not just a motel. An empire. I staggered back, trying to breathe. My parents didn't leave me a crumbling motel. They left me the key to everything. Suddenly, every piece fell into place. The apartments my sister got? A distraction. A surface-level inheritance. But this was the foundation. Hidden. Protected. Meant only for someone who would look deeper. Someone like me. Tears filled my eyes, not from sadness, but from something else entirely. Understanding. They didn't think I was weak. They trusted me. And Derek. My jaw tightened as his words echoed in my mind. Useless. A slow, cold smile spread across my face. He had no idea. Days passed in a blur. I secured the chamber, contacted lawyers listed in the documents, and began uncovering the full scale of what my parents had built. Quietly. Carefully. The motel above remained untouched, a perfect disguise. Then one evening, my phone rang. Derek. I stared at the screen for a moment before answering. His tone had changed completely. Soft. Nervous. Almost desperate. Brenna. I think we should talk. I leaned back, glancing toward the storage room, the secret beneath my feet. About what? I asked calmly. A pause. I might have been too harsh. We can fix this. Just come home. Home. I almost laughed. You told me not to come back, I said, my voice steady. Not until I took the apartments. Another silence. Longer this time. Then quietly, did you? I let the moment stretch, just long enough. No, I said. And then, just before ending the call. But I found something much better. I hung up before he could respond. Because now, for the first time in my life, I wasn't the one chasing validation. I was the one holding power. And beneath that crumbling motel, beneath every insult, every doubt, every betrayal, I had uncovered the truth. I was never the weak one. I was the one they were preparing all along. If this story pulled you in and you want more powerful, jaw-dropping revenge stories like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't miss what comes next.